And so, with the world the way it is, with madmen trying to destroy freedom and life, your life is being destroyed by a very few percentage of mad minds in the world trying to work together to deceive you, manipulate you, control and program you. But you have tools. You can gain the correct understanding to fight back, to gain your own power. That power is your absolute power and energy. You, me, I am a center of power within the infinite absolute of power and energy. As a live, active and positive center of power, I am a center of life, energy and force, and a center of what I attract and repel. I use all of my mental faculty to create with my will power a wide path for myself. I do not deserve this, do I? Of course I do. I am very strong center of mentative energy. That is what we are. We erase any impressions of yourself or myself or what we are that harm me and my family. We kill them by willing them out of our minds. Another point to make, that most people, the vast majority of people, do not understand that they are an electromagnetic and dynamic being, and that they influence and create the world about them. They use mental fascination to impress their wills and desires onto the material and mental world. But they have forgotten. They have had that power stolen, most from birth, by the education systems, governmental agencies, the media, the television, and everybody else who is in their life that has also been programmed to have weak wills. No internal dialogue to help them navigate the world around them. This is theft of your being and soul. This is who you are. What are you going to do about that? And so what is it? What am I? What is the conscious mind that looks back at me when I see a reflection of myself? Is that me? Am I just this meat suit? Or am I more than that? Could I be more than I first thought, and what I have been told about what and who I am? Could it be that I use desire to attract the things I want and need, and use the willpower to push, drive, and compel. Could that be what I do, and I don't understand that I do that on a subconscious level? But if I do want, receive, and change things in the world, that must be true. And so if I had full control over my actions and my thoughts, maybe everything would change. So what is desire and what is willpower? Like magnetism, desire attracts, pulls, draws. It is a pulling motion. Willpower, on the other hand, is like electricity, pushing, compelling, driving power. These two dual aspects of the mentative absolute power is what my being is as an electromagnetic being, and my poles of dual power, desire and willpower. This power is balanced for greatest effect. What if I had this understanding? And what if this power is true? And how much more could I prove that I do facilitate my own mind with my own thoughts, but with no real justification that they actually do anything? They're just what? Gobbledygook of my mind, and some work and some don't. Some things I think about happen, but most do not. Why is that? How could I change that? A good starting point of your start of control of yourself would be relaxation, so that you can focus on imagination. And if you can focus on imagination or visualization, you will start to become more and more focused, calm, controlled, self-conscious of everything you do, but without the paranoia of being self-conscious. Just control of your thoughts, control of your actions in a steady, purposeful manner. fear, feeling sorry for yourself, stress, anxiety, etc., does me and you, it does no good whatsoever. Infinite problems and bad thoughts and feelings come from it if you have it, and you lose all of them if you don't have it. It's a massive waste of energy and life if you fear. To achieve good thinking thoughts, focused thoughts, relaxation, a good, clean life works wonders. Good, healthy food, good diet, good health, and above all, good tools to help you focus in on the thoughts which you find most important. And so if you can fine-tune your mind, you can fine-tune your body. And if your body's tuned, your mind will also become more tuned. Now, this is ancient, and the ancient Greeks knew of the connection between the mind and body. In fact, quote, fully understood that the nearer one's physique approached the state of physical perfection, the nearer one's mind approached the state of mental perfection. They knew that the simultaneously and co-equal development of one's ability voluntarily to control one body and mind was a paramount law of nature. So, the connection between what you think, what you feel, what you think you can do, and what you feel, whether you want that or not, or the stresses and the work issues and the money issues and the world issues all weigh on your mind, and they will be there whether you absorb that fear or not. Physical fitness is the first requisite of happiness, and that was stated by Joseph Pilates. And if and when I decide to tune my mind and connect with my conscious inner being, I will be able to focus on the thoughts I want and the thoughts I want to disregard, to act on things, to know things that I cannot know without the focused mind, understand things that my mind wasn't capable of understanding before, changing the world, the physical world around me and around you and around us. I can change the world around me. I can change reality. Is it magic? Well, there is quite a bit of science out there stating that reality is not what most people believe it to be. It is not the solid foundation. It is made up of mostly empty space. Over 99.999% of all physical objects is just empty space. And what we feel as the real world and reality is actually the electromagnetic resistance that repel. We never really touch anything. Atoms do not really touch each other. It is a force. It is a wave function. And I do not have to take my own thoughts and observations to know that this is reality, the real reality. If you delve into quantum physics just a little bit, you'll start to understand that nature is not what we were taught in the school books. German physicist called Werner Karl Heisenberg. He won the Nobel laureate, and he was one of the founders of quantum mechanics, and one of the most important and acknowledged physicists of the 20th century. And one of his statements were, "What we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning." Erwin Rudolf Joseph Alexander Schrödinger. He was another founder of quantum mechanics, and one of his statements, the first one is, "Quantum physics thus reveals a basic oneness of the universe." And he also said, "What we observe as material bodies and forces are nothing but shapes and variations in the structure of space." Niels Bohr was another. He also won the Nobel Prize in physics, and he also became a professor of the University of Copenhagen. He said that everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. Nothing exists until it is measured. If quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Niels Bohr. Another, called Max Carl Ernst Ludwig Planck. In 1919, he had a Nobel Prize address on the origin and development of quantum theory. He was a German physicist, and he said that all matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. David Bohm. The ability to perceive or think differently is more important than the knowledge gained. Also, then there is further question of what is the relationship of thinking to reality. As careful attention shows, thought itself is an actual process of movement. And probably for most people, and probably the most well-known scientist and person of the century even, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Albert Einstein. So, you will understand that the world that I see is very different than the world I was meant to see from the knowledge I learnt as a student and as a young man or woman or whatever I am. And so, if the world is not as solid as we think, what is it that we could do if we put our minds to real focus and attention? The syntactical nature of reality, the real secret of magic, is that the world is made of words. And if you know the words that the world is made of, you can make of it whatever you wish. Terence McKenna. And so, this segment will be gone shortly, but it's worth to go inside and think a little about who we are. Dee dee dee. Into bisa. Wait, where